Wow.
And I was working in media sales. I was a sales executive, had a whole career. I was a senior executive selling advertising, someone that doesn't take no for an answer,
Yeah,
and someone
it's
that is
good.
very curious and asks a ton of questions. I love that. The females, there's just something about a woman being really confident in their skill set and being confident in what they're able to achieve. And it's just been really empowering since I've started this new industry and being surrounded by these type of women. While I don't like to think about what people assume about me, maybe it was that I have formal training in design, based on the type of projects that we're working on or the designs that we're putting out. And I was completely self-taught.
The construction world is fascinating, but it's not perfect. Behind every building you admire, there are creators, dreamers, and problem solvers bringing ideas to life. Join me as we uncover the stories and insights of the professionals shaping the world around us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creative Blueprints. Today, I'm so excited because we are surrounded by the interior design stuff, and I love that. Really, I love this space. It's a new space, it's a new office. So I'm really happy to be here and to have this episode with an interior designer, finally, because we have builders and architects and now an interior designer. So welcome to Creative Blueprints, Christina.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I love your work. Congratulations for the awards in the Austin Home Awards. All your nominations were amazing. And I wanted to include you to this season because I think that you are doing amazing in the industry. And I want you to share a little bit of what you are doing with all the new talents and people that watch this video. So if we can start this conversation, just if you can tell us how everything started, how you decided to be an interior designer between all the professions in the world, and what motivates you to be in this industry.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited we finally got to connect. I think originally when I first started, so I had a completely different career. I was living in Los Angeles for the past 17 years,
Wow.
and I was working in media sales. I was a sales executive, had a whole career. I was a senior executive selling advertising. And then when COVID hit, I was renovating my house in LA, then renovating my house in Austin. And I was just reinvigorated. I had a real passion for design and couldn't imagine doing anything else. Like I was struggling at work because all I wanted to do was design. I grew up around design. My father dabbled in interior design
Oh,
a lot. So
wow.
he worked with builders, he did the parade of homes, and he was working later in life on his own projects in Mexico. And so I was around it all the time, but I never realized that it would be a passion of mine until he passed away. And when he passed away, I started, working on my own things, and I felt so connected with him. And it was just a light inside of me that really drew me close to him and really, invigorated this passion for design. So when my project was over in Austin, I just was thinking if I could just get one client, then I would be so happy because then I could continue doing my passion. I was still doing corporate, and one client turned into 20 that year. And I was like, okay, I think I got this. And I think I can try to explore this full time. And it was really hard because I was like, okay, I'm 40, I'm over 40, I have 3 kids, a salary, working in corporate, a full on career. Am I really blowing up my life to start on this new venture and open up a design firm? And I just took a bet on myself and I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's see how this goes. And it's
That's
been
amazing.
incredible. So it's 5 years later.
Wow.
And I have a design firm, this cute little office. I have an amazing team of women that I work with and just incredible vendors that we partner with to create sanctuaries for people. And we love it.
I love that. When you say you were living a corporate life, what were you doing before, like dedicate yourself to interior design?
What was I doing in my previous
Yes.
job?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of client service. So in advertising sales, I worked with some pretty big companies: Microsoft, Yahoo, Tumblr.
Nice.
My last company that I worked with was BuzzFeed. And so I would primarily work with movie studios to get their new movies that were coming out on our website and advertise to the communities that were in front of whatever I was working on. And it was a lot of, working with partners, multi-million dollar budgets, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of client service. And I think it was easy for me to transition into design. One, I had a passion for it, but two, the client service. Like what we do is very client service related, whether you're working with a contractor,
Yeah.
obviously working with your clients, partnering with vendors. It's all relationships and that client-based service. And what you put in is what you get back in that reciprocation. So I think that was an easy transition from the business side of things.
Yes, that's lovely. I
Yeah.
love that. All right. And here's one more question that is not in the list.
Okay.
You saw this list previously, but a question that I like to ask. We are in the construction business. And what is your favorite or your happy place? Like, can be a restaurant, can be a spot in the
anywhere.
world.
Okay, I would say my happy place is in Sardinia, Italy. It is
Oh,
heaven on earth, and I just always, if I want to have a little escape in my mind, I take myself
oh,
there
okay.
in these like crystal blue waters where you can see all the way
It's
down to the
beautiful.
floor of the ocean. And it's just on this little island tucked away from Italy, or in Italy, but tucked away from like the mainland, and it's just gorgeous.
Amazing. Well, we can start with these questions. Are you
Okay,
ready?
I'm ready.
So I do have some, like the dynamic is that I have some of my favorite colors of Sherwin-Williams just right here, and I will give them to you. Each color is a different question.
Okay.
So just pick your favorite, and I can take a look to which question is that on.
Okay, so one of my favorite colors right now is carriage door.
Okay, carriage
Really
door.
pretty oxblood maroon color.
Perfect. I love that. All right. So that question is, what do people assume about your success that is not true?
Well, I don't like to think about what people assume about me. Maybe it was that I have formal training in design based on the type of projects that we're working on or the designs that we're putting out. And I was completely self taught and didn't go to school for design and entered into the school of life for design. If you will.
Yes.
And
That is
learned-
possible.
Yeah, learned by working on projects.
I never assumed that, like I thought that you were like, that you went to school as interior designer because you're doing incredible. And it's so hard to see someone that has that sense of, like the colors and the textures and all that. But now that I know about your father, that is just like amazing. So yeah, I love that. All right, pick the other one.
Okay, another color that I'm loving right now is Rockwood Dark Green.
Awesome. How would your team describe you in 3 words?
I would say dedicated,
Okay.
creative, and passionate.
Nice. How many team members you have in your team?
We have 5 team members.
Nice.
So 2 designers, a project manager, and a procurement manager.
What is the most important? I don't know if that is value or something that describes the person that you will hire.
Someone that is really outgoing. To me, that's really important that you're able to show up and be confident in your skill set. Somebody that has a lot of grit and determination. Someone that doesn't take no for an answer. And someone that is very curious and asks a ton of questions. I love that.
That is just like a consequence, or you decided to work only with women?
No, I think not a lot of men have reached out, and a lot of women have come to the table. We've been talking to a couple of interns that are male, which has been fun to explore. But I think there's just something about the women that have come to work for me or that I've worked with, and my mentors I have male mentors as well, but the females, there's just something about a woman being really confident in their skill set and being confident in what they're able to achieve. And it's just been really empowering since I've started this new industry and being surrounded by these type of women. It's really fueled me, and that's what I like to surround myself with. So I think it's just by nature, organically,
Yes.
I'm choosing to work with women.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I feel the vibe. I mean, I have seen all your Instagram and the pictures together. So it's just like a different vibe that is like so warm,
Yes.
and that is like a nice vibe to work with a team like that.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah. We
nice.
have a lot of fun. I think we really focus on culture and making sure everyone feels like valued and heard and seen, and just like a fun place to work and
Yeah.
a fun place, come and grow, be passionate, dedicated to what you're doing, but also like, how are you leveling up is a big motto here.
So when you started like 5 years ago, when you felt that you needed someone else in your team, you started but your very own, I am assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you felt that I need someone else that be part of my team.
I think I realized really quickly that being a creative and also doing the business side of things is really hard to switch back and forth in putting different hats on. And so my first hire was a project manager, and that was someone that was really kind of like owning all the projects, owning all the invoicing, owning all of kind of like the admin type tasks to stay on top of things so that you can provide great customer service.
Yes.
And that was my first hire, is when I knew I was like, okay, I really am a creative type. And
Yeah.
so I need someone to kind of keep me in line, to make sure the projects are moving, organized, like tasks are getting completed on
Nice.
time. So that was a good first hire.
How long
How long?
time later?
Well, right away, I hired someone to help me with the bookkeeping. I think
Nice.
that's like my first, I don't like numbers. And so I was like, I'm not dealing with this.
We don't like
Yeah,
me.
no, someone needs to help me with all that kind of stuff. And then I would say it was probably about a year and a half in that I hired
Nice.
someone full time to help with project management.
All right, perfect. All right, just pick the other one.
Okay, my next color I'm going to pick is, I'll do Hushed Auburn.
Hush Auburn. That is my very, very
I
favorite.
love it.
So, if your business had a theme song, what will it be?
That's a really good question. If my business had a theme song, what would it be? You know that song "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield?
Oh yes,
That song.
that's
That song.
that's
Just
nice.
kind of like trusting that what is in store for you will unfold as it should.
Nice.
And the rest is still unwritten. That's
Mhm.
the song, I think.
I think that I haven't put like enough attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Nice.
That
I
would
will
be
hear
a
again.
reason. Yeah.
That's cool. I like it. All right, the next one.
Okay, next one is, let's do Tiger Eye.
Tiger
Open
Eye.
orange.
Everybody's asking, like picking that one.
Yeah,
I think that the
matches the
color
cups.
is just like so nice.
Yeah.
All right. What is the most meaningful compliment you have received?
The most meaningful compliment, I would say, the compliments we get from our clients just mean so much to us. I think one of our clients said that by us creating the space for her in her home, it's helped her expand her life exponentially. She was able to, I say, manifest this incredible home that she moved into. Her job, her career is taking off. And I think, and she always attributes it back to the environment that we created for her. She was able to really create in a different way because of her surroundings. And I just thought that that was so cool because, we take our jobs very serious so that our clients can live their best, most fullest life. And when she put it that way, and she attributed to a lot of her success to us and the work that we did for her at her home, that was really impactful and meaningful.
Nice. That's cute. I mean, you're coming from customer service for all your life. And I think that customer service is just a plus in the interior design world, because you have to listen like your client, all that, not only what they are saying, like what they really want to experience in their house. So what do you think that is the most meaningful for you project that you have developed in this 5 years?
I would say the most meaningful project, I think one of my biggest love letters to design is my Big View project, which we're really excited to start showcasing next month.
Oh, nice.
And that one was just a project where I first interviewed for the project. I didn't get the job.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, that's okay. The universe is showing me what could be available.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this massive home on the lake and just something that I was like, wow, like this is could be a possibility. I could design something like this, but I wasn't quite ready. And then a year later, the owner called me back and was like, hey, I think we're ready to bring you on to design our casita and then our full home remodel. And that was like a true like door opening. Like the universe was like, you're ready now. Let's go. Let's do this.
That's amazing.
And that was just like a really special project to me.
And that is the whole house or
It was
some spaces?
No, it was a full 10,000 square foot home.
Nice.
Their full casita remodel, and so it was like we touched every corner of that home and reimagined it in a way that felt, you know, really personal to me, really speaking to the client's story. They're artifact collectors, and so we were trying to figure out how to create this walking museum without it feeling stuffy.
Oh, wow.
Or too pretentious or precious.
Yes.
How they have a lot of children and a lot of grandchildren. So it's like, how can you live in this magnificent home with really fine materials and these incredible artifacts and artwork that are museum quality, but also be able to have your dog run around and your kid ride on their little
Wow,
scooter
that's a
throughout the
lot.
home.
Wow,
So,
that's beautiful.
it was really fun.
Nice. And that is here in Austin?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice, because I saw one of your projects that is in Cedar Park as well.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so beautiful.
Yes,
And I was like,
I love
wow,
that
that's
project.
cute.
Yeah.
Nice. I would love to see that
Yes,
soon.
it's coming out soon. It's our Big View project, and it's going to be featured in a magazine. So
Ooh.
we haven't been able to post yet, but soon in May we'll be able.
All right. Pick the other one.
Okay, I really love this likable sand.
Likeable sand.
Yes.
All right. So, what have you had to say no because of your career?
I've had to say no. Well, I feel like recently we've had to say no to projects that we used to say yes to a lot, and now we've kind of expanded into a different type of design. And you know, when things are slower than usual, you want to say yes to everything.
Yeah, to
but
everything.
You have to be firm on where you want to go and the type of design that you want to be doing. And so that's really shifted.
Yes. You are also focused in luxury interiors. So, in terms of not the budget, but what projects you say no now that probably 5 years
5 years
before?
ago,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Well, 5 years ago, I was pretty impressed by the type of people that were able to hire on an interior designer because it is a luxury service. And there were so many, I would work with so many young professionals that were like under 30
Yes.
that had their first home and that were hiring a designer to help them like really trick out their pattern. I just thought it was so cool that there's all these young professionals in Austin that like care about their space, care about where they live. I mean, I remember when I was 27, 28 and I was not thinking about, you know, like my really cool place. I had like no money and I was just trying to like go out and have money to go out with my friends. But just the way that they're thinking about living and how they're wanting to curate their space.
Interesting.
I was always so impressed. I mean, they obviously didn't have, you know, they just bought their first home, so they didn't have the type of furnishings budget that you would need to furnish a full home. But we were working with what we had and made sure that it was really cool, and they felt really proud of the space that they were inviting their family and friends over to. And so those projects we tend to say no a little bit more to, because the furnishings budget isn't quite there, and we're really focused right now on sustainability and quality.
Nice.
And really trying not to put in, you know, furniture that you're going to throw out in a year or two. We're wanting like timeless furniture, longevity, timeless materials, and then, you know, we're really big into vintage, so that sustainable aspect of like how you can upcycle a really cool piece of furniture and put a new fabric on it. It's not cheap to do that. Even though you might buy the item at a really cost-effective price, then you have to maybe refurbish it or get it reupholstered. maybe put in new foam or whatever the case may be. So it tends to rack up in cost. But I think just like the sustainability and knowing that you have a piece that you're going to potentially pass down, I think
Yes.
is really beautiful versus like, oh, I'm just going to
Something
have this
new.
for 2 years. And like, once my
Mm.
kids trash it, they'll
Mm-hmm.
throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, it just sits in the landfill. Like, let's get
Yes.
something with performance fabric that's going to stand the test of time. If you don't want it in your living room anymore, after the kids trash it, let's like get it reupholstered and put it up in the playroom, or kind of
Yes.
move things
Yes.
around so that they can have like an extended life.
Yeah, and also you are adding some pieces that are just beyond of the furniture. It's just like another piece of history to the
Mm-hmm.
house. So I love
Yeah.
antiques. I love, the furniture that is not only like just fast and you can just like recycle and just pass it to future generations. So
Yes.
that is lovely.
Yeah.
What is your favorite spot or space in the house that you love to design?
I love designing kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
I love designing kitchens, and I love designing primary bedrooms. And
Yes,
just
those are the spots.
yes, a lot of clients, especially the ones with kiddos, always put themselves last. And so
Yeah,
to be able
that's
to
true.
like create a really zen escape for parents to go
Mm-hmm.
to and in a really beautiful way is really special. So I take those very seriously.
Yes, I love those. Those two rooms are also my favorites, but that's true. I never thought about that.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like when they want to do something for the kids,
Oh yeah.
it's
It's
just like
always
just they
they're
they
like, oh, our room's last, or we've never really done anything to our room. This is the first time we're designing our room because, we've always dedicated it to like the rest of the house where like people see it. And no, mom and dad deserve like
go
a really
ahead.
cool
Do it.
space that
Yeah.
is like a little escape at the end of the day where you can lay down and connect with your partner and, re-up for the next day. And
I
then
love
obviously the
it.
kitchen is the heart of the home. So that's where
Yes.
everyone gathers, and we just love the idea of creating these memories and really kind of getting really deep into how you live on a day-to-day basis,
Mm-hmm,
and then
mm-hmm.
incorporating functionality throughout that, because everyone utilizes their kitchen so differently. And it's like, okay, how are you cooking, how are you microwaving things that we don't cook,
Yes.
like what
Yes.
are you doing every day
It's very
from the time you
intimate as
yeah,
well.
very intimate. Yeah.
Yes. All right, just let's pick the other one.
Okay, next color, I'm gonna do this fun chartreuse.
Chartreuse. Okay,
Yellow.
so if not architecture, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing design, I would be
Would you continue with your career in?
no, absolutely
No?
not. I am so blessed that I found this career later in life, because I was really good at my last job, and I was, a top performer. I was really high up in my profession,
Mm-hmm.
but something was always missing, and I always was kind of searching, like, hey, I'm good at this, but like this can't be it. Like I don't feel that feeling that you get inside, and I finally have that feeling. So I would say I wouldn't be doing anything else but this. I think if I wasn't doing this, maybe, you know, taking care of my babies and designing my own many of my homes. If I had my manifestation list, it was like having many of homes, and I just designed those for
the dream. That is a dream.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would be doing.
Awesome. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids. I have twins that are
Nice.
8 and a 6-year-old girl.
I saw that you are also, I don't know if currently, but you remodeled your house lately.
Yes, we just finished it in February, and it turned out really great because we remodeled it 6 years ago when we were moving to Austin. So we've been in Austin now for 6 years, and we hadn't really, we focused on what we could with our budget that we had, and we mainly focused on the downstairs. And, like a lot of my clients, I was like, yeah, we'll do our room later. Like, let's do the main stuff first. And we finally got around to that. But, 6 years later, I had designed like the playroom for babies and toddlers. So it's like very babyish, and the kids never went up there. And I realized we were all living on top of each other. And I'm like, why does it feel so crowded all the time? And it's because we were not utilizing half of the house. And so I was like, okay, we need to like revamp the house to how we live now. And I think that's so important, is designing for how you currently live and then anticipating how you're going to be living in the future. Is something that I really didn't think through when I first was designing our home 6 years ago. So now any playroom that I design, it will be like, how can we have longevity once the kids are out of like the toddler stage? How can we tweak this so that it's an easy transition into like the tween into teen stage? And so we turned it into a media room, and it's really dark and moody, which they love, and they're up there a lot more. And then we didn't have like a formal, not that you need a formal sitting room, but for us, I just feel like the kids were always like jumping on the furniture and just like acting like wild all the time. And I'm like, we need one space where it's like just chill. And so we kind of revamped our living room so that it's a little bit more formal. They still jump on the couch and
But that is a
sit,
space
and
to
their
do that.
favorite chairs are my vintage chairs, where they're just
Nice.
like, that's where they go. But if they want to play and get crazy, I'm like, go upstairs to the media room and do what you need
That
to
is
do.
a space.
Yeah. But,
Nice.
yeah, so we kind of like, you know, revamped it a little and did a
Mhm.
couple touch-ups here and there and added some plaster and a couple fun things.
Nice. So for, I don't know, homeowners that they have kids and they are planning to, I mean, it's the same story as you, that they moved to the house and they have done like a full remodeling, but they want to change something. What will be your best advice for them?
If they want to change something,
I mean, they want to remodel or they want to improve, I don't know, like something in their house as you are doing with your house.
Okay, so when we first remodeled, we totally revamped the kitchen. I feel like even if you're buying a builder grade home, they always put in the cheapest stone and the cheapest hardware and lighting. So if you
And the cheapest cabinets.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
the cheapest
yeah.
cabinets. So if you're going to upgrade at simplest form, I would say kitchen for sure, and that has to be your countertops, hardware, and lighting. And obviously, paint goes a long way.
Yeah.
So at bare minimum, if you just want it to feel different, I mean, even in builder grade homes, they're using like very chalky white paint that
Mhm.
you brush up against it, and you get like a chalky
Yes.
white film on you.
Oh my
That's like
gosh.
not high quality paint. And then over time, it's just going to start pulling yellow and green. So that's also a great way. But then you can start to infuse color in your personality by paints. So yeah, lighting, hardware, paint, and then if it fits in the budget, countertops for sure.
Of course. All right. I love that. Just to close this conversation, if you could give an advice to future designers, to future people that they want to be part of this industry, what can be your best advice for them?
I would say just start designing your own space. Practice, get mentors. I feel like mentors is a big thing. I would not be as far in my career as I am if I didn't have incredible mentors around me that opened up knowledge, brought me along, guided me.
How you found your mentors?
Mentors just I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do, and then I picked those people that had what I wanted, and then I was like, hey, you're cool, I love what you're doing, you're kind, and I love how you're treating people. Like, can you give me some advice? And people are so open and willing to do that, especially here in Austin. If my career change happened in LA, I don't know if it'd be the same outcome, just because it's more competitive and it's just a larger market. But I think in Austin, there's just like that kindness and openness, and the design community is so intensely fierce in terms of collaboration that I was able to get mentors pretty quickly. And now that I'm in a certain stage, like I'm people's mentors, which is kind of fun,
Love
and
that.
am able to give back to people and provide some of that guidance. And then I'm also looking for new mentors in a different way. Now that I'm kind of leveling up and growing in my own career. So I think it's always evolving and staying curious and asking questions. I think that's another big thing, is asking questions and really knowing how something is created and developed. So not just, showing someone a photo and being like, I want this, bring this to life for me, or not really knowing the intricacies of like how plumbing is done, how electrical is done, what goes into cabinetry, and all those things. Just because the more knowledge you have, you're able to provide more insight to your clients, be more of a subject matter expert, and just really kind of know what you're doing when you're doing design.
If you can shout out one of your mentors, who can be? Is here in Austin, I'm assuming.
Yes, I will have to give A big shout out to my OG contractor, John, at Austin Pro Remodeling. He was the contractor that worked on my home, and he is just a lovely human. And he kind of took me under his wing on the construction side. So he walked me through like the steps, like how everything needs to be done, why it needs to be done properly. I mean, I still bring him on sites when I'm working with other contractors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come with me, come walk the property with me so that we can make sure it's done right. And he only does small projects.
Yeah.
So he's not working on like the bigger projects that we're working on, but he has such an eye and is just so gracious with his time. So yeah, I owe a lot to him.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Was lovely to talk with you. Thank you for letting me learn about your firm, about yourself, and why you are doing it so great in the industry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you can also share your information. I mean, how people can reach you out, how people can connect with you, social media, Instagram, your website, whatever they want to share.
You can find me at Christina Cruz Interiors. My Instagram is Christina Cruz Interiors, and my email is Christina Cruz Interiors.
Well, thank you so much for being part of this, for taking the time, and for being part of the industry. I'm so happy that you came here to Austin, and now we can learn from you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I love your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. Go ahead and check all the episodes that we have for you. Of course, you can check it out in YouTube at Mitzi Avila. Go to Instagram and follow us on Instagram at _creative blueprints. Also my professional Instagram account at mitziavila.designer. You can check a lot of inspiration for cabinetry, interior design, and all of that. And of course, this podcast that is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.